Hey YouTube, what is going on? It has been a while since I have done a preview video, but this one I had to do because I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, mostly Final Fantasy VII. And it's one of those games that I grew up back in the 90s when I was a kid. It's been just great for me ever since. So today, Prime One Studio finally opened up their pre-orders for Cloud versus Sephiroth, and I'm gonna open up some pictures here, and obviously it's a cool looking diorama. You can buy these guys individually, um, but really cool interchangeable swords. The material is interchangeable. Apparently, you can get Sephiroth without the wing. A really cool setup. I mean, it seems a little, the stage is obviously a little basic, but not too crazy. I do like the hex here. I do like that. A lot of cool interchangeables, like I said, different color material, all that fun stuff, right? And then Zach is going to come out next month for pre-order as well, and he's supposed to link in as well, right? So going over these pictures, it looks really, really good. I mean, a lot of this detail is fantastic. If you're a statue collector, you know that, the price is in the details, right? In a really good picture of Cloud. Obviously my main concern on this is like the hair pieces. I'm worried about them breaking. But hopefully they package it right. But the portrait looks really well. You get Cloud, different positions, different swords. A lot of cool ways you can display this. And then here's Sephiroth as well. Again, I look at this and I'm like, oh boy, breakage. Same thing with the sword. They had a demo of these guys out, and it had like a support rod. So we don't know over time how these are going to go. But again, the portrait on these is really well done. I ain't going to lie. Oh, this comes if you order them together. You get a nice little Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stand. I just want to buy the stand. LOL. So again, a very cool diorama. I'm going to fast forward through here. There are specs of Cloud somewhere around here. There we go. So 51.9 centimeters deep, 66.5 tall, and then 35 and a 1, 35 1 deep, and then 51.9 centimeters long. This is angled a little bit, but you would imagine you kind of flip it around. So not terrible. There you go. That's probably the way I would obviously display it. So more going this way as opposed to coming this way. And then let's kind of go through some of these here. Then we have Sephiroth, so kind of the same thing as well. He'd be facing that way. He is a little bit more longer due to his wing, about 71.9 centimeters. And that's probably the way that I would also have him positioned as well. Now, if I get Zach, obviously, Zach would be opposite side, but if this was Cloud, he would be side by side. So it's actually a deeper thing with Cloud and Zach. I'm not really sure I'm gonna get Zach though. I've never been one of those people who have been like, oh my God, Zach. I guess maybe it's because as a kid I never really dealt with him. Like I didn't even know about that hidden scene until much later on. But yeah, so really, really cool, right? So of course, naturally, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, one thing goes, now it's due to come out in March of 2026. So that gives at minimum 15 months at minimum, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's plenty of time to pay it off. That's plenty of time to save up and do it, right? Well, until I saw this. That is fucking insane. And if you go to an installment calculator, even they offer you 15 months. At 15 months, you're still paying $320 a month starting in February. And if you're like me on a statue like this, where when you buy it, you want to get it in your hand, look at the shipping costs. almost $1,000 to get it here fast. Now, if I scroll down, I mean, you get a lot of cool things, a lot of swappables. I mean, you get a lot. But really, when it comes to this, is how many of these are you actually going to use? And see, it says one support rod. It's curious. So, there's the specs and the weights, which, let me just quickly go here. It was 11.9. 11.9 kilograms to pounds gives us, okay, so if they're going to package them together, it's going to be about a 60-pound box. So, yeah, not really sure about this one, folks. I mean, even if I waited until June of next year and did 10 payments, that's $500 a month. That's like a car payment. I cannot justify the cost of this when I have other studios who are making Final Fantasy VII line figures for a fraction of the cost. In fact, I have a studio where I have 2 figures, and both of them combined are a quarter of the price of this one. And the quality, I mean, yeah, Prime 1 makes some good work, I'm not going to lie, but when I'm going to be the only one who really appreciates it, I'm willing to sacrifice a little quality for a much fairer price point. I was honestly expecting each one to range between $1,200 to $1,500 a pop, and have the whole set maybe be $2,500 to $3,000. When you look at something like this, right, and then you look at something like, yeah, let me do this. Let me do, I'm gonna quickly scroll down. Let me quickly find Mr. Godzilla, right? So, when I look at that and then I see something like this, what was the actual? I can't see the whole thing. I want to see the actual. There we go. Okay. And then when you see like a Godzilla and Kong like this with a whole city diorama, and you got your 2 big figures here, something like that, and that one is just $100 more, and you get these big things. I mean, look at that 71, and I mean, you're talking, God, 120 pounds. You're talking about a much larger statue, and it's just that same cost. I can't justify it. I just can't. So, it sucks. I really do like. I mean, I'm gonna have to digest this one. I love Final Fantasy. It is. I mean, if I was gonna spend a lot of money on a statue, Final Fantasy would probably be top of the line. But there's still even a price to what I gotta pay, and I'm a budgeter. And I mean, yeah, 5,000 over the next 15 months is doable, but I mean, it's just there's a lot for it to happen, and a lot of potential breakages, and then it's just like, if I had my own dedicated place where I knew if I put it down it wasn't going to be moved ever again, I might be more inclined. But knowing that I'm eventually going to have to move all of my statues makes me like, well, I don't know if I want to unbox this or whatnot. By themselves, they're retailing for about $2,500 a pop, which is still crazy expensive. And I mean, really, when you come to Final Fantasy, you're not going to buy Cloud and not buy Sephiroth unless you're like a diehard Cloud. And I'm not really a diehard Cloud like fan. Like I love the overall atmosphere, but I respect the combo that these guys are. It's like you can't mention Cloud without mentioning Sephiroth. You can't mention Final Fantasy VII without Cloud and Sephiroth. So, I wouldn't choose one over the other. So I really don't know. But that's crazy. And I do know Prime 1 does charge a lot, but I want to say that a lot of that price increase comes from probably Square Enix, because it's Final Fantasy VII and it's such a huge name brand, and it's a recognizable game brand, and they probably capitalize on that. That's why am I going to pay like $5 for a bag of like Lucky Charms store brand, or $10 for a box of actual Lucky Charms? You're going to pay for the brand, and I think that's what this is too. Even the Ellie and Abby Last of Us Part 2 statues. Both of them together are the cost of one of these dudes. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you all think about it, guys? Let me hear some opinions and thoughts. All right, hope everybody's doing well. If I don't see you before then, have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. Got a lot of cool statues showing up in 2025, so we look forward to that. And I will do a kind of end of the year update video on what's coming. So hope you're all here for that. Take care, guys. Miss you guys. Hope you all as well. Bye bye.